And what you need to learn from that is the start isn't any indication of how it can end. It's a good start. If you look at car races or athletics or anything like that, a good start can predict the win. But if things start to go wrong during the race, storms and winds and things, like in the Sydney to Hobart yacht race, when they mispredicted the weather and people drowned and yachts sunk and it was a mess. It was a good start, but turned out to be a mess. Runners go into the race, start well, pull a hammy, or twist an ankle, or miss a hurdle. Good start, but bad finish. There's some high-rise buildings here at Gosford where I live. They got off to a good start and they're very well on their way, and they've been given a demolition order because the concrete is not at the standard that it's supposed to be, and it's sat there for months. Millions of dollars involved, millions and millions of dollars involved, and I don't think they're going to be able to find a resolution. I think it actually will have to come down. So your relationship can start well, okay, and that's to be enjoyed. But wisdom has to go along with that. You have to be observant, you have to be aware, you have to be able to understand who you're dealing with and what you're dealing with and how this person is molding or mixing with who you are and how you're mixing with them. It might not be what you like. You see, when two people interact and intimately exchange, there's a lot more going on than just feel and touch. There's tremendous soul and spirit transitions and infusions from each other to the other, which impact who we are, how we think, and it's not the same as when we're on our own. It can be positive and negative, it can be a mix. And that comes down to then how we're going to navigate it, how we're going to respond to it, and how we're going to use these changes, right? Not only for the benefit of ourselves, but for the benefit of the relationship. Now, you might be going well, you might be thinking this is wonderful, this is great, I've finally found the love of my life, and it can all be going that way for years, 2, 3, 4 years. For others, you might get a month, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and then the change starts, the devaluation, the disintegration starts. And this is when wisdom comes in. You have to say to yourself, okay, this person is a good starter, but mid-drift, they fail. I went and watched the family soccer game yesterday, and one of the problems with the family member soccer team is they'll get through the first half, and in the second half they fade away and they lose. Well, yesterday they won in extra time. I wouldn't say convincingly, but they did win. It was a good win. They go into the grand final. But they were known for fading in the second half. Now, what this can do is cause you to want to see some improvement. And if you complain enough and have enough authority with this person, they may temporarily or hopefully permanently come into line with how they were at the start. But the sinful nature, our human sinful nature, has a way of disintegrating, devaluing undermining and wrecking things that are valuable to us. And we need to be aware of this. So you may have tremendous awareness of your sinful nature, what it's doing to you, how it's impacting you, what it's trying to influence you to do that's wrong or bad or self-destructive. But the other person may not. The other person may like the lust. It's called the lust of sin. It's called sinful lust, deceitful, sinful lust. Now, these lusts deceive. So the person won't realize what they're doing is detrimental to them. It's actually detrimental. And they'll be self-unaware, and you'll be wondering, how can this person be so self-unaware all of a sudden? How could they be so careless? Well, it's not uncommon. It's the masses fail in relationships. A lot of people just won't have a relationship now because they can't manage themselves, therefore they think others can't manage themselves. So what's the point? If you found yourself in a situation where you're devaluing the other person because they're devaluing you, that's not an indication to try harder. That's an indication that you just don't gel, you just don't mix. So don't let your loyalty, faithfulness and devotion blind you from the fact that it hasn't worked and you need to get out. You need to leave that person alone. They need to leave you alone. You need to position and recalculate and recalibrate your destiny. It's not with this person, I'm telling you. The abuse, the negligence, the sins of commission and omission are all signs that you need to get out. So begin to detach. Begin to explain to this person that you're out. You're not happy with what's going on. You can't see any light at the end of the tunnel. Sorry that it's ended up this way, but this is the result of who we are as a couple, and it's not what I expected or anticipated. And detach. Now, if there's children involved, you only make agreements and arrangements relative to the children. You may be met with hostility and objection. That's okay, face that for what it is. And then, once you've crossed the initial separation stage, which is horrible, it's going to test you in every way conceivable. But once you've gotten past that initial phase, then it's time for you to look at your life with all these experiences, with a different mindset, with a different outlook, with a different approach, and know, no matter how nice and wonderful these people are, and they're not bad people, in most cases, some are, in some cases, it just hasn't worked out, and you have to accept that, detach, micro-incrementally and progressively detach, go, no contact, as I said, and never ever ever go back.